Okay, what happened? There's always something. I think it's the music. What is going on with my Facebook account? Hey, y'all. This is weird all the way around. No, let's delete you. Hmm. I'm gonna try one more time. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. All right, guys. I don't know what's going on with. Let me. It's gotta be one thing, right? Uh, mm-mm. All right, I'm gonna restart my phone. They just gonna have to wait. Good evening, brother Van. How are you? We are on the clock. Waiting for some other people to come on. Hey, Tickety Talk. How you guys doing this evening? I'm waiting for my other phone to restart. Electronics is we depend on these things so much, and then they don't work when you want them to work. But I am on TikTok, YouTube, and trying to get on the book now. Been a rushful week. It's already Wednesday. I'm wishing it could be Friday by when I close my eyes. I got a lot to do in 7 days. Um, so I need to make sure I'm focused. How have you guys' week been so far? I know I had a blow up at work yesterday on the line. I had to get up from my station and walk to clear my head. Who was that trying to invite me on Gene Zapata? Who was you, Gene Zapata? Let me know who you are. All right, let's try this again for this here. You're what's ending and I didn't even start anything yet. That's the weird thing. This is weird. This is real weird. Let me try to tag. You gotta let me know you who you are on TikTok before I accept your invite. You know what? Y'all gonna stop playing with me. Okay. I'm gonna leave that off. I'm gonna start my show because it's not the night. Not the night. Not tonight. Good evening, everybody. My name is Kimble Evans. I'm your trap therapist, and you are on the Trap Lounge. Tonight's topic is mirror, mirror, core beliefs. Core beliefs. Have you ever looked in a mirror and did not like what you seen, or looked in a mirror and you did not recognize the image that was in the mirror? The thoughts in your mind get constrained. So when you look in the mirror, you're not liking what you see, or you're looking in the mirror, you're not confident. You're looking in the mirror, you're doubting yourself. You're looking in the mirror, whatever those curse words that were told to you when you were a child, still reflecting back at you. We're having a hard time today as adults. We have a lot of people today as adults dealing with a lot of issues, conditions, some generational trauma. Um, we all grow up to, from children, the way if you were nurtured properly, if you were not nurtured properly, you grow up into an adult and you still deal with those things as an adult that you didn't know about or didn't recognize as a child. So I'm going to be talking about core beliefs. Um, let's get into our midweek check-in today. I am doing awesome. I think I put up a pink emoji heart. I'm sure I did. So my midweek check-in, I put my pink emoji heart up there. It's having harmony and balance in your life. The pink emoji heart. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing started. If you are doing great, if you're doing great, put up a red emoji heart. If you're doing great, put up some red emoji hearts. Miss Carla popped up some yellows in there today. I hope she's going to be coming on here tonight. I could not get on whatever is happening on my other page. I can't get on. But anyway. If you're doing okay, this is blue. This is not purple. If you're doing okay, give me some blue emoji hearts. Here you go, Miss Carla, the yellow glow emoji hearts. She was doing mine. Kind of not. She put up some yellow emoji hearts. My friend Aisha Ford, she was saying things are tough. She put the green emoji hearts and she's struggling. Please DM me, lady. So I'm gonna reach out to you before the end of the night to see what's going on and try to talk to you. If you're having a hard time and you're struggling, you wouldn't mind if somebody reach out to you. This is purple. Put up them purple emoji hearts. If you're having a hard time and you wouldn't mind if somebody was to reach out to you. I check my DMs every single day. If you want to DM me, I think I put my phone number up there last week. If you wanted to call me on Thursday between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. to talk to me, I am available. I will put that number up there at the end of in the chat. If you're in a really dark place, put up the broken emoji heart. If you're in a really dark place, again, if you're like me, having some harmony and balance in your life, I've been writing, I've been getting my goals, and I've been minding my business, honey. I've been minding my business. And your business ain't my business. And I ain't gonna let your business be my business because I already got a lot of stuff on my plate. I can't eat what you eat. Your food might be too full for me, too rich. Might be something that I don't eat. So I be minding my business. I'm minding my business. If you're feeling optimistic and uplifting, put up some orange emoji hearts. Optimistic and uplifting, some orange emoji hearts. Brother Van, tell me how you doing this evening. If you had a day like this was yesterday, Lord help me. If you had a day like this, put the brown emoji hearts up there. If you had a day like this, put the brown emoji heart up there. I had a hard time yesterday. Couldn't concentrate, couldn't focus. I was all over the place, really emotional. If you're feeling cool and self-restraint with some humbleness, put those great emoji hearts up there. Cool and self-restraint with some humbleness. Just put some great emoji hearts up there. Blankness, mixed feelings. You barely got through the day, but you did something. Put the white emoji heart up there. If you barely got through the day with some mixed emotions, blankness, put the white emoji heart up there. Something is tearing my arm up. If you're feeling relaxed and friendly, put the light blue emoji heart up there. If you're feeling relaxed and friendly, put the light blue emoji heart up there. If you're frustrated, put the flaming heart up. Frustration, flaming heart. And I found my black heart again. Not my black heart. The black emoji heart is for anger and sadness. This is the emotion that we never like to really deal with. We would put it to the side. We would bury it deep down. We don't want nobody to see us sad. We don't want to, if we get angry, it's too much. People think we're off the chain, but this is the one, this is the emotion that a lot of people don't deal with. So we can talk about this. If you're having some anger and sadness, please let me know. Put it in the chat. I'll stop everything I'm doing, and so we can chat it up. All right, that is done. Let me see if my phone went back to charging. It is always something. It's doing the same thing, and I don't understand it. Yeah, something's wrong with something's wrong with my phone. Mm. Matter of fact, let me. All right, got that done. Too slick for myself. Again, tonight we are talking about mirror, mirror, core beliefs. Is those things that someone must have told you, someone may have, said that you were not, and you grew up having those thoughts. Those thoughts are hard to get away from. So, what is a core belief? It's a deeply ingrained absolute assumption about oneself or others and the world that acts as a lens. Can you call me back? I knew they was going to do that tonight. That acts as a lens for interpreting, experiencing experiences. If you had bad experiences in your life as a child, they're going to come into your present. It's developed in early life, childhood. These fundamental convictions shape automatic thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and can be either enabling, which is positive, or limiting, which is negative and distorted. So you have positive core beliefs and you have negative core beliefs. And how do you know what your core beliefs is? To identify core beliefs deeply held, often unconscious. So this is something that goes on in your unconscious mind. Assumptions about oneself and others, and again, the world. You sometimes have to ask yourself, is these thoughts true? And what does this mean about me? So you know the story with the Snow White, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the loveliest of them all? And the mirror tells her that she's the beautifulest of them all. But if the 2000 and something Snow White came out and it said, no, Snow White, she's beautiful. She's the most beautiful person of them all. And then the queen goes and locks her in a dungeon. Okay. So the queen, even though she was beautiful, in her mind, she wasn't the beautifulest, or she wasn't that good at something. So maybe her mom told her that she was, unworthy, unlovable. And in her mind, those automatic thoughts was, you're not loved. I'm not pretty. I'm not worthy. So it's how can core beliefs shape our mental health? How can those core beliefs shape our mental health? Is an interpretation of reality. Core beliefs dictate how you perceive situations. If you believe I'm incompetent, you will likely interpret a neutral feedback session as a total professional failure causing distress. Plain and simple, if you put bad energy out there about yourself, you're feeding it. No one has ever said I'm stupid or I'm dumb to themselves. That may be something that someone said to you. I can never do anything right. That was something that was said to you in your childhood by a parent, a sibling, an aunt, a family member, maybe even by a teacher. Some teachers do tell the kids in school, oh, you're not going to amount to anything. I know where you're going to end up, either in jail or dead. And kids listen to that. If you tell your kid that they can't at something, like learning how to tie their shoes, they're going to believe that they're going to have a hard time tying their shoes. So pay attention to situations that trigger intense emotional distress. This is how you can identify if you have any core beliefs. That thought that always is there in your mind. What is that thought? What is that thing that's always that it eats you up sometimes? If somebody says something that sounds something like that, you're really on them. You're on them, like, what did you say? And I'm not this. Sometimes people cannot often take constructive criticism. When you're letting them know, well, this is what I see that you're doing wrong, or this is what might be bothering me, something that you're doing. All they hear is the negative stuff. And they'll think that they're a piece of because someone told them that as a child. You'll hear this. You're only a piece of, you're worthless. You're no good. You can't do nothing right. So these often stem from underlying core beliefs. Again, pay attention to the situations that trigger intense emotional distress. If you're in an argument with your fiance, your husband, your wife, your kids, and they say something that cuts you at the core belief, you ain't a good mother. You was never a good mother. That cuts you because your parents always told you that you were never good enough. And now into motherhood or into parenthood, your kids are telling you you're not a good mother or good father. That cuts you because that's a core belief. You're not good enough. These things, again, they develop early in life and they act as unconscious lenses, again, through the eyes, but in the mind, which all experiences are interpreted from. So core beliefs is driving emotions, behaviors, and your automatic thoughts. How you feel, how you think, and then how you act. It all plays something in here. I can say for a lot of children that have IDD, autism, Asperger's, any special needs child, I came up. That's the job that I used to do. I did that job for from 2007 until 2015. So I was with IDD, with individuals with intellectual disabilities for a very long time. And we used to take the clients out to have dinner or just to go out on an outing. And in restaurants, people stare. And I'm not a person. What are you looking at? They here eating. They are paying for their food. They're normal, just like you and me. Tell your kids to stop staring, or tell your kids um, about this. But now it's more prevalent. It's more prevalent. You see a lot of individuals with IDD. Their children are out. Autism. This the what is the autism logo? This the puzzle pieces with the different colors on here. It's more prevalent now, but you'll still have children, and children can be harsh. Elementary school is where you're going to either win it or not in elementary school. Is you're going to make it in life if you pass in elementary school, from kindergarten all the way up to the 5th grade. If you pass those and you come out having self-confidence and good self-esteem, you made it, because then you can go on to the middle school, high school, and into society, because that's where you find your friends. That's where you find if you have tough skin. That's where you find if you can withstand being bullied. That's where you find if you can fit in with a different crowd or different people, or who are you in school. You try to find yourself from kindergarten to 5th grade. And then from there, you step out and say, this is who I am. And then you're still doing a little searching, but this is who I am. So some common negative or core beliefs is, I am unlovable. I am inadequate. The world is a dangerous place. People are untrustworthy. People are selfish. They will hurt me or abandon me. Now you have to challenge and restructure those unhelpful, often untrue core beliefs. You have to challenge those things in your mind. I'm trying to see if I'm going to go to my schemas, or I'm going to go to how core beliefs shape mental health. So there is interpretation of reality, because think about someone telling you that I don't love you. Your own mother didn't love you. If you were in foster care, or if someone in your family started taking care of you, your grandmother or an aunt or a sibling, and they told you your own mother didn't love you. So how can I love you? I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my diligence. Or they might say it in an even rougher way, if you're in foster care, I'm just using you for a check. Some people are bold like that. And in your mind, you're like, okay, my mom didn't want me. Nobody from my family wanted me. Maybe my dad and them didn't want me. So I am unlovable. So that interpretation stays in your mind. So how can somebody love me? And then you'll think, I don't even know what love is. And to people, we are mammals. We are physical people. The way we interpret love is through intimate relations. Say nothing. I just wanted to put that out there. So interpretation of reality. Core beliefs dictate how you perceive situations. If you believe I am incompetent, you will likely interpret a neutral feedback session as a total personal failure, causing you stress. If you had a bad moment at work, your work was piling up on you, and your supervisor came and said, listen, I need these many packets to be copied and returned to me by 12 noon. Now, I'm just going to use me as an example. This never happened to me, though. I'm not tech savvy. So if she would have gave me the papers, I'd have been looking at them like, who won't copy them? Because these copiers now, oh my goodness. Your paper gets stuck and jammed in there. The toner's not working. It's not the correct paper sizes. So to me, I'm an idiot. I don't know anything about a lot of technology. I'm just learning this new tablet that I got 3 weeks ago. So I'm an idiot. I can't do nothing right, causing me distress. So from the time the supervisor gave me that task until 12 o'clock, nothing really got done. And now I'm sweating. My anxiety is getting increased because I still don't have this task done for my supervisor. What are they going to think of me? Emotional responses to core beliefs. These convictions directly trigger emotions, deep seated beliefs of being unworthy or unlovable often lead to chronic feelings of depression, shame, and anxiety. So, in your mind, thinking that nobody loves you, your mom didn't love you, your dad didn't love you, nobody from your family loved you. Foster care person don't love you; they just getting a check. And then you get out there in the world, and you might have somebody that's attracted to you, and now you're their boyfriend or their girlfriend. The only way you can show them love is giving them your body. Because we're mammals. If I'm attracted to you, you're attracted to me, we're an adults. That's how you show love. And so sometimes that can lead to depression. That's all I'm worth. That's all they want. The shame of it all. Because if you're with somebody and you're only attracted to them for the intimate feelings, that dies. That fire, it goes away. And so you might have one partner after another partner after another partner. You might have even two partners. And so then the shame comes in. And after a while, you get anxious, you get worried. How can I be better? And ain't nothing wrong with you, but in your mind, how can I be better? How can I make myself better for someone to love me? Now, there are behavior patterns and self-fulfilling prophecies. You'll say something, it'll come true. You'll think it'll come true. Negative belief often lead to behaviors that confirm the belief. Sorry, someone believing I will be abandoned might act in ways such as being over controlling or distant. It can cause people to leave, thus reinforcing the initial belief. If you're too overbearing, if you're too over controlling, that may push people away. They're not used to the way you act. You're too clingy. Or you don't trust anybody as much. So you put, hey, Miss Carla, so you know you're not connecting with them. You're pushing them away. You're getting distance. You don't even want nobody. You don't even want a good, solid relationship, friendship, because again, in your mind, all they're going to do is leave you anyway. Everybody else did. So let's get to these 5 core schemas. Talk about these 5. So a schema is a mental structure that organizes informations and the beliefs and knowledge about the world, helping individuals how we interpret new experiences quickly. It's like a filing system. This happened to me when I was in kindergarten. This happened to me in 2nd grade. Whatever those important experiences is that you file away in your memory. And how we learn and recall information. So the 5 core schemas to a child is emotional needs, connection, mutuality, reciprocity. We talked about reciprocity last week. Flow and autonomy. When these needs are not met, schemas develop that lead to unhealthy life patterns. So when your child's emotional needs are not met, if they're not having a connection, that's that trust and mistrust with mom or dad or siblings, and then the trust with the world and society. Mutuality meaning I'm the same. We're on the same level. Reciprocity, do for me, I do for you, and the flow of autonomy. If those things are not met in your childhood, it's going to lead to unhealthy life patterns. Those thoughts. So hearing harsh words impacts self-confidence, causing emotional trauma. And before I got my master's in psychology, I went to school and I got my BS, which means Bachelor's in Science and Behavior Health. And so I study people and their behaviors, their moves. I watch people a lot. So if you catch me staring, I'm just studying the behavior, studying in the environment. Hey, bestie. So again, hearing harsh words impact self-confidence and causes emotional trauma. Now, remember this slogan as a kid: "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me." Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Harsh words impact your self-confidence. Imagine coming home from school and this is your first A. And you're so happy and you show your mom, look, I got my A, I got an A. I studied real hard on this test. And your mom like look at it and go, okay. And put it down like it's nothing. She just took all your joy away. She crushed your whole happiness. So now you don't even like school. What's the point? What's the use? Now, she didn't say anything verbally, but in the behavior, she could, oh baby, this is lovely. What I did with my kids is I hung it on the refrigerator. I still got my kids' certificates when they were in school, elementary, middle school, and high school. I still have certificates of theirs, awards of theirs. And a little folder, I said I was gonna, and this is way beyond because Wasima's about to be 30. Once they got 21, I was going to hand them a book that had everything in there, a scrapbook that had everything in there. And then they can share that book with their kids and they can make a scrapbook for their children. I still have those things. They're in a big old box, matter of fact, over there. So I haven't gotten to the scrapbook yet, but my kids still have been getting awards and things even in their adult life. So I can still probably move forward and do that. And then my grandson, I have some of his certificates and some of his trophies and stuff around here. But that term, that small term, sticks and stones. So somebody can hit you with a stone, it's going to hurt. Somebody can hit you with a stick, it's going to hurt. But words or names, they say it will never hurt. That's not true. That's not true at all. They damage relationships by fostering insecurity and rejection. Harmful language, such as bullying, insults, or criticism, can lead to internalized negative beliefs, shame, and it can be lasting and damaging to the soul. It says the soul. That's deep, guys, to the soul and to your mental health. Now, you can feel pain. Some people feel that physical pain when it hurts them right in the gut. I remember the first time I heard somebody call me the B word. I was crushed. I was appalled. I mean, I was really crushed. Never have I had that happen to me in my life. And I'm about to be 48. I'm like, what did you say to me? Wow. Okay. And my ex-mother-in-law used to say, if you use those foul languages, those foul words, you don't have any more vocabulary or any intelligence in you that you had to stoop down and use foul language to talk to somebody. So you know what that I did with that person. I left them right where they stood. You would never have a conversation with me ever again. Ever again. And I had to do that because I would have been in jail and I don't have bail money. Bessie, you got some bail money? Now, when I was young, I literally had bail money. I had some money stashed away for bail money because I was ruthless like that. Ask my kids. Ask my ex-husband. I had bail money. I was ruthless like that. But today, I can't make those impulsive reactions because I would be in jail and I would be losing lots. Like the young woman, I don't know who she is, from Philly that went to her guy's job at the car wash today. Did anybody else see that on the news? She went to the car wash. They were having a conversation. Whatever that conversation was, she didn't like it. She smacks his coffee out his hand. He grabs her. They tussle for a little bit. They tussle for a little bit again. Then you see her coming back in her car, riding up to his car, busting the car with a hammer. He takes the hammer from her. She speeds off, come back, and try to run him over. And it's all caught on tape. Baby. So core beliefs or those words, you can feel pain. It can be undermining your self-worth. It can be constant criticism or harsh words. Can cause someone to doubt their value and feel unworthy or develop a negative self-image. Now, all the African American women or all the people of color women, have you ever heard of the term she's loose or she's fast? Around that age, maybe 10, 13, you get developed, you start going through puberty, girls, and you might have the boys hanging around a little bit too much. And instead of your mama telling you you're beautiful, value yourself, she'll say your fast is out there with them boys. You like, well, wait a minute, I don't even do anything with the boys. Can't help that they're around. I don't do anything with the boys. So now in your mind, you fast. And if you don't know what fast is, that's being promiscuous. A very promiscuous person. And the Southern term, you're fast. That can damage a person. That can have that self-image in their mind. You can't even stay connected when you get older in a relationship. Because if this one like you and that one like you, you're going to go with this one first because that's the one you want. And then after you done with them, you over here. This can be the same thing for the guys. Guys, or when you tell your little boys, oh, go out there and sow your raw oats. Or for the rapper, I forgot his name, that introduced his son to strippers and sex at the age of 13. You do have men being hypersexual. Talked about this. You introduce a young boy to sex too quickly when he's not supposed to he's not even in that mindset of doing it. You can even introduce him to porn. Any inappropriate behavior for a child, they're going to learn it. And so if a boy is hypersexual, he's going to turn up to be a man that's hypersexual, and they're going to have multiple baby mamas. And multiple baby mamas have multiple drama. I'm going to sip my tea. Words can hit hard when they are connected to existing fears, insecurities, deep-seated emotional wounds from past, and it triggers your past trauma. You're trying to move forward in your life, forgetting all that happened in the house, or forgetting all that happened when you were in placement, forgetting all that happened maybe when you were locked up, juvenile, even when we go to jail too. We go to jail, forgetting all that bad experience that happened in your life. But if someone triggers you, again, with a certain type of word, you go right back to that experience as that child or what you experienced. It comes right back up. So you might feel social rejection or exclusion. It comments that makes someone feel excluded or unliked. It threatens the fundamental human need to belong. If you're at work and there's a group of people that talk but don't include you, or there's a group of people that go say, "Hey, Sarah, you want lunch? Where you want to get lunch from? Give me this, give me that," and no one asks you. No one asks you, Kimble, do you want lunch? No one asks you. So you feel excluded. You don't feel like you belong. And some of those people that feel that way are the black sheeps of the family. Anybody been that have ever felt like being a black sheep of the family? Everybody just dumps all the wrongness on them. They can never do right nowhere they go. The brothers and sisters don't like them. The mother don't like them. The grandmother don't like them. Maybe a favorite aunt maybe like them. The favorite aunt may be saving from some things. But you always in some stuff being a black sheep. Odd. Peculiar. Weird. Now, the part in the brain, get this, the physical brain responds to emotional pain from verbal abuse, names that won't hurt you. That's verbal abuse. And it's processed the same way of a physical injury. So basically, what that means is physical abuse, somebody punching you, shoving you, kicking you, pulling you down, someone calling you out your name, saying you ain't gonna be worth jack. Or if you hear moms a lot when they break up with the baby dad say, you're gonna be just like your father, you ain't gonna be SIT. That child takes that in. That child takes that in. And when that child grows up and they have an argument with their significant other, the wife, the baby mom, and they say, you ain't even taking care of your son. Who are you? Who are you? That man gonna go right back to when his mom told him as a kid, you ain't gonna be nothing just like your dad. And that hurts like a physical punch. So mental health conditions, it can be dysfunctional core beliefs like, again, I am bad. They are often the root of addictions, eating disorders, personality disorders, as people use harmful behaviors to manage intense emotional pain. Hence, you'll have people with substance use. You'll have people with gambling. You'll have people that have eating disorders. They overeat or they emotionally eat. You have people that sex addicts. You have people that sex addicts that does risky behaviors. They having 5 and 6 one night stands in one night. Those are risky behaviors because the euphoria. God, I couldn't say it. The euphoria of it, trying to hit that climax. And again, this person wants me. This person wants me. This person wants me. They want to feel wanted and loved. So you'll have this feedback loop. That means that these negative core beliefs create a cycle where one's inner narrative dictates their reality, making it difficult to recognize successful or positive feedback which reinforces the belief. So again, that is an unconscious thought that just keeps popping up in your mind. It'll keep popping up in your mind without you even thinking about it. They just happen like that. So, mirror, mirror. The mirror is an image of a reflection, a duplication of an object that appears almost identical but in reverse. So, when you're looking in the mirror, you're looking at your opposite in the reverse. It's computing in the mind. Psychologically, the mirror image is agnosis. It's a condition where individuals misidentify their own reflection. Again, what you see in the mirror is not what you see in the mirror is not what you perceive. Perhaps it attributes to a stranger or belief. So what you see in the mirror, that can't be me. They don't look like me. In the mind, that don't look like me. It's a stranger to you. Somebody stole whatever your identity was that you have of yourself. A mirror image in the mind and a mental and in your mind is also a mental subjective representation of oneself or of the world. If you got damaged as a child with verbal and physical abuse, the world is not safe to you. You don't trust anybody, no one. You'll have relationships, but those relationships are not solid. You don't trust anybody. You have fear, you have worry, and that's when anxiety can set in. Like, am I ever going to be safe? I know somebody like that. They literally lock themselves in their bedroom door at night. Lock the door downstairs, lock the door in the back door, and lock themselves in their bedroom door at night. The anxiousness of not being safe. This can act as reflections of internal states, beliefs, and perceptions. It can cloud your thoughts, but it remains capable of reflecting reality. It clouds your thoughts. The things that you do believe or you do see are not actually what's going on. Like, say, for instance, you walk in a room and two people are talking. They're not talking loudly, but you think they're talking about you. When I walk in a room and get quiet, and I'm like, the party just started, y'all. I walk in the room and get quiet. That used to bother me. When I walk in the room, it used to bother me. It doesn't bother me anymore. Because what y'all talking about? Because I did have family members that used to talk about me behind my back. Oh well. Hey, Dalia, how you doing this evening? So you start self-evaluating yourself, and these actions and the perception of others can often distort your own emotions. You wake up in the morning, you look good, you feeling good, you put your good outfit on, you got your perfume, you ready for your day, you feel good. You know you look sharp today. You ready to start your projects at work. You go get your coffee, you straight. And you get to work, and they all huddled up in a small spot. And you walk in the room, and they look at you, and they get quiet. In your mind, you're like, not today, because I ain't for today. Now, all your glitteriness, all the Tinkerbell dust that you had that you were so happy, then went away. Again, because these are automatic thoughts. They come. And what they're probably talking about is something that maybe happened on the news. Somebody probably got in trouble at work. Somebody spilling the tea. But you are thinking that they're talking about you. And that sent your whole mood down. These can be negative feelings towards others. You ain't going to never have. You're not going to get close to nobody at work. And a lot of people say, I didn't come to work to make friends. I came to work to make my money. True. But you spend a lot of time at work. You got to interact. We are mammals. We interact. We are social beings. So this can create a cycle of negative self-reflection. Again, you look in the mirror like, my outfit is banging, my hair is looking good, I'm smelling all right, I'm cute. Like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? And there's nothing wrong with you. It's just that thought that you have being unlovable, not being worthy. If your mom ever called you a dumbass or fast or dressing like a hooker, whatever those words were that hurt like a punch. And so this is what I say oftentimes. How do you shut down disrespect? Because now that core belief, again, as a child, you don't know what it is. It's name calling, it's bullying, it's beating you down. But as you grow older and those triggers hit and people you interact with, it's disrespect. Like I said, that person that called me the B word, I was appalled. And it was very disrespectful. And because I didn't have bail money and I couldn't crack their jaw, I just had to say, you know what? You got it. And walk away. And as I'm walking, I'm like, God, you just saved their life. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. because I don't have bail money. So how do you shut down disrespect? And listen, we all have our levels of what that looks like. But stay calm. This prevents escalating drama like we seen today on the news with the young lady having an argument with her significant other. Whatever he said or however he did not respond to her, she got upset and slapped that cup of coffee out his hand. You know, people love their coffee. And so he grabbed her and they started tussling. And I know he was probably telling her, why would you come up to my job and start this mess? We could have handled this at home, or while I was on my lunch break. Walking her to her car, and she started saying something again, and they tussling again now. His employees, his co-workers come over to break up the fight. She get in the car, looks like she's leaving. She drives up, takes the hammer, and bangs and busts his window out on his car. He sees her, snatches the hammer away while she's driving it off. He bangs the hammer on her car. Both of their level of respect is out the door, honey. Because when she took the car and put it in drive and tried to run that man, she did run him over because he flipped over the front of her car. Flipped over to the front of her car and then slammed his body. Listen, my husband, his mouth was down to the floor. Like, did you see this? I'm like, yeah, it's real. It's real. You have to stay calm. So you don't want to escalate the drama. And I know it's hard, people. I know it's hard. Ask God for some grace. Because a lot of people today like to test you. But say to yourself, you don't have bail money. And you have more to lose. And I would say, if they not arm's length, because that's my personal space, if you get up to my elbow, you too close. I like you to be arm's length away. I tell my kids, if we in a disagreement and you're not arm's length away, I'm gonna snatch you up. So stay calm, and this prevents escalating drama. Don't take it personally. The disrespect that they're giving you often stems from the other's insecurities or their issues. You heard the term, leave your problems at the front door when you go to work. Sometimes people can't do that. Sometimes they bring their work issues to work and then they bleed on you. Hence, hurt people hurt people. Or you're in a relationship with somebody and they're not fully recovered. They're not even healing. They're not even in the process of healing because they don't even think they got a problem. There's nothing wrong with them. And that's those people that we usually say, oh, that's how Cindy is. You know, that's how Cindy is. Because everybody accepts Cindy's behavior. Except the sister, the husband, and the cousin. They like, nah, y'all better put Cindy in her place. Everyone was not raised in the same house with the same ethics, the same morals, the same laws of society. Everybody wasn't raised the same. Here we go with this thing over here with TikTok. Hold on, guys. It's gonna come up. You have to be consistent if you allow disrespectful behavior to happen. Once it's you must set boundaries at once and never let it happen again. Never let it happen again. So you have to set the boundaries and stick to the boundary. Hence, the person that called me the B word, I'm like, okay, ooh. I'm telling you, listen, this happened 2 years ago. And it still gets me. I've never I've never been called that before. Never. And I hear other girls calling them their girlfriends. They're like, hey, no, 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 no. My mom named me Kimble. My mom made me write my name over 2,000 times when I didn't like Kimble, because in school they called me Kibbles and Bits. Kibbles and Bits. Again, in elementary school, if you won't make it past elementary school, you ain't making it in the world. Kids are cruel. Kibbles and Bits is the dog food. So I didn't like that. And I say, my name is not Kibble, it's Kimble or Kimberly. And I used to write my name as Kimberly. And my mom seen it one day. She said, I didn't have you. And I was in labor for such and such days. And they told me to push again because I was the one that she didn't know she was having. I have a twin. She came out first. And then they told my mom 5 minutes later to push again. That was on August 3rd. She didn't wake up till August 6th. So you know she feels some type of way about me. And then as I'm rewriting my name, my mom is saying, your name means something. I gave you that name for a reason. But I remember my grandma saying, oh, she was going to name you breakfast and she was going to name her lunch. And then when my mom passed, I just so happened to Google my name. And my name means warrior, strong one, leader. So your name, it means something. Don't ever have anybody call you other than what you are. Ever. So be consistent. If you let it slide once, it'll happen again. You must be consistent and keep those boundaries up. Now, how do you deal with those unmet needs that happen in your childhood? There may be some signs that you have unmet needs from your childhood that was never met if your mother never nurtured you. If you never got the words "I love you" said, you're not going to be saying "I love you" to your spouse or husband or friends or anything like that. Did anybody do the 5 love language quiz that I put out there? I think it was either last week or the week before, the Wednesday before. Do that 5. I'm gonna put the link in there again. Do the 5 love language quiz so you can know what your love language is. My love language is acts of service. That means I like people to do things for me because I've seen that growing up. That's how my grandmother showed us she loved us. She made sure we had a house with a roof over our head, food in the refrigerator, clean clothes, and water. That was her acts of service. We never heard "I love you" that often from my mom or my grandmother, but they did things to let us know we love you. So, but when you get into your own tribe, Hakuna Matata, your own tribe. When I got my own family, my kids, we kiss, mwah, mwah, hug. We're huggers. If anybody know me personally, I ain't shaking your hand. Come give me a hug. We're huggers. And I tell my kids, I tell my sisters, I tell my friends, I love them, and I never say goodbye. I say later. You're talking to me on the phone, you're never going to hear me say goodbye because it's not goodbye. I'm going to talk to you later. Goodbye is when we close our eyes and it can never open up again. So if you ever hear harsh, if you talking to yourself harshly or trying to be a perfectionist, that's kind of like what I try to do. I talk to myself like, girl, get yourself together. You ain't no chump. You've been through a lot. This is just one badge in your war. Man up. That's that harsh talk. You're trying to get yourself out of a situation. You're trying to sometimes get yourself out of that depressive state before you even get depressed. Because in your mind, this stuff is always happening to me. Why me? Why me? You fear abandonment or rejection. Check these things. You feel fear abandonment or rejection. You have difficulty setting boundaries and then keeping them. You struggle with self-worth or self-trust. Think about these things. People pleasing or over functioning in relationships. You do more than your other person do. Now I say, my grandma used to say, and everybody says, treat people the way you want to be treated. That's how a relationship starts. And if quid pro quo means things for things, if we're both on the same level, a lot of people say, and I'm almost done, oh, our relationship is 50-50. No, it's not. I don't give you 50% of me. I give you the whole 100. So if I give you a whole 100%, I'm expecting 100% back to you. And then I break it down to people. If you say you give your relationship 50%, where's the other 58? Because that's half. But you go to work and you give work 100% because you want that paycheck. So if you're going to work, give and work 100%, come here, because being in a relationship is work. Again, how you met that person, how that spark and how that flame was there, you have to keep that flame. Don't give me 50% in my relationship. I want the whole 100, because I'm coming with a whole 100. Whole, all of it. You'll have those people that have emotional outbursts that feel younger than their current self. You have somebody that's like 50. They act like they're 18. They have a whole temper tantrum. And you're looking at them like, look at this fool. Look at. That temper tantrum, again, don't take these things personally. That temper tantrum may stem from them never being felt heard as a child. You know, some parents will shut you up immediately. Don't you say nothing. Don't you talk back to me. Matter of fact, if you never felt hurt as a child, and then when you're in a relationship and there might be an argument, might be a disagreement, you shut that person down. Now they have a full on outburst because they was never heard as a child. Coping with these negative beliefs, the feeling of unloved, being unloved, the feeling of not being worthy, the feeling of being inadequate, the feeling that the world is dangerous. If you've been through some trauma, robbery, seen somebody killed, murder, all those things, if you've been through anything like that, that'll cause you thinking the world is not a safe place. Again, if you've been raised in foster care, if you wasn't raised by your natural parents, or if your grandma raised you and your grandma said, your mama ain't this and your mama ain't that, I'm raising you. I'm taking on her responsibilities. Some family members can be harsh. That's going to leave you feeling hurt and like your mom abandoned you. Because in my eyes, if my mom couldn't take care of you, you are my grandma. Why shouldn't you take care of me? I never turn my kids away. And I keep saying, listen, guys, they not kids. They not babies. My three are not babies. My son is 35. my oldest daughter is about to be 30. And my youngest is about to be 28. So they're not kids. But anytime they need to come home, they have a home to come to. Even if we, you know, we got drama every now and then, I'm their family. I'm their mother. I'm going to be there for them. But again, with people of color, soon as they get 18, when you get 18, what your parents say, you can get out of my house. You think you're grown? I left at 16, and listen, I wasn't ready to leave at 16, but I ain't had no choice. My oldest daughter stayed with me. She just moved out in January. And again, she'll be 30 this year. I didn't want my kids to leave home, not until they were ready. This world is a cruel, cold world out there. Cold world out there. So coping skills. Talking about the issue. Because remember, you suppressed it, you didn't ever talk about it. These core, sometimes people don't even tell you what they're thinking about themselves. You just see it or you notice it. So focus on changing the unhelpful thinking patterns and the behaviors to improve emotional regulation and coping skills. That is called cognitive behavior therapy. That is something that you work on with a therapist in your therapy sessions. And I did write down here that it's short term, right? It's so CBT is a short term therapy, maybe 5 to 20 sessions. There are goals in those therapy sessions. It's to help individuals learn to be their own therapists, to try to, because you already have the answers in there, but so much is in your mind. You have to unpile that stuff, unwrap that stuff, process those things so you can move forward into your present, because your past is holding you back. So try to change those unhelpful thinking patterns, and it takes a while. If you were 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, and you've been doing that for that long, it takes a while for you to change something, but change is constant. It's constant. Change is ever evolving. We change. We change as people. We change. I don't even like chocolate ice cream anymore. I used to love chocolate ice cream. It tastes like mud now to me, just to me. You have to focus on your present day and those challenges. I had somebody call me today and she was all worried. She just got out the hospital and she had 5 classes and some assignments that were due, and she got all anxious and she said, I don't even think I can do this. And I said, do what? She said, just life in general. And I'm like, okay, let's think about what's your important, what's the emergency, what's on fire that we need to put that out right now. And she said, well, I have 5 assignments that I have to, that's due, and I'm not even ready. I said, well, won't you email your professor and ask them for an extension? Explain your situation, and I'm sure they'll give you an extension that calmed that fire down just a little bit. Just a little bit. She still was anxious. She still was worried. She still didn't think she can do it. And then I said to her, do you think your support system, because we always think nobody's there that's going to really help us, because our crisis is not their crisis. So they thinking what we're talking about, like the lady yesterday with the skin issue. I digress. So I said to her, who was your support system? She said, well, my parents, and I had my best friend. I said, so if you called your parents and asked them to help you in a certain kind of way that you can distinguish and give them control of just whatever that is, are you willing to do that? And will they be willing to do it? She said, yes, that calmed the anxiety down a little bit. She said, but I'm not calling them. So we end up going to 2 or 3 things that was high in priority, which we know was her class that she needed to get her assignments done in. And then getting her house back, her home back to the way it needs to be for her to function in there. Because when you're in a crisis, you don't even see like, whatever's on that plate, I got to throw the whole plate away. Sometimes it gets bad like that, or those socks. We don't see it when we're in that crisis, but when you come out of it and you're back to yourself, all that damage, all that gook, all that sadness, all that depression is still there. And now we have to come clean it back up, because now we're not in that state anymore, but our home is in a chaos. There's dishes that need to be done. There's no food in the refrigerator. Laundry done piled up. Talk to me, people, now. When something happens and it stops your whole life for that moment, nothing gets done. You're going through the day-to-day emotions. That's why the Cottage House's slogan is from surviving to living. So trying to focus on your present day challenges. And I told her when she got off the phone today, just handle one task. One task. Don't get yourself overwhelmed with everything else that you put to the side. No, you put those things to the side. No, you're going to do those things, but just handle one thing today. I'm going to be checking up on her tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So changing the thought in your mind can change emotions and your actions. Positive affirmations. So you go from saying, I am lovable to I am capable of being loved, and I'm capable of loving, and I'm capable of giving love. You want to be loved, right? Everybody wants to receive love. You want somebody to love you, right? And you're capable of accepting that. So whoever told you that you ain't nothing, nobody even loved you. Change their thoughts. I'm capable of loving. I am capable of being loved, and I'm capable of receiving love. Is a collaboration, a work together. So your spouse, your friends, your family, those people who you trust when you're feeling vulnerable, you can give them that vulnerability and say, listen, I had a hard time in my childhood. I wasn't really talked to in the right way. Sometimes when you say this, it makes me feel this way. So y'all can identify the problems and develop solutions. Some people that have been in domestic violence relationships, when someone raises their voice, they are on ready go. Don't get too close to them, you might get hurt. Because someone raising their voice means to them something else is about to happen, because it's already happened to them maybe time and time again. So identify those problems and develop solutions. I don't think me and my husband has done it in a while, which is great. It's really great. We have a safe word. He's laughing, so he knows what I'm about to say. We have a safe word. If things get too hot and heavy, we both hot heads. If things get too hot and heavy, and you know when you're getting hot and that argument is getting good, and you done gave yourself into it, like, why did I fall into getting arguing with this person? But you're already in it. We have a safe word. We use that safe word. It's going to snap both of us back into reality, saying somebody's about to say something that's going to hurt someone's feelings, or do something that's going to hurt someone's feelings. We both go to our mutual corners and table whatever that thing was that we didn't agree on. Sometimes it's so harsh, we don't even want to talk about it anymore. Or if we're at an outing, if we're somewhere and we both don't want to be there, all I got to do is go over to him and say the safe word. No questions. We leave. Even my kids, we do that. Even my kids, you're going over here, listen, you're going over somebody, your family member house, and you don't really want to be there, but you may want to go see your nieces and nephews. You may want to go see your favorite cousin. And you get there, and you know it's that one family member that you can't stand. Or one of them close friends of the family that you don't know how they made it into the family. They ain't related in no way, shape, or form, but they always around. They get on your nerves. You go over to your friend, your husband, say a safe word. Get a safe word. It can even be a number. It can be a safe phrase. But that helps with the problem. Because again, sometimes in those heated arguments, you never know what's coming out of your mouth, and it can damage a person. Learn to recognize and challenge your negative thoughts. Learn to recognize and challenge that thought. Sometimes in therapy, they'll give you some homework exercises. You're like, homework? I'm not in school. They'll try to tell you to track your emotions in the journal. So what you're doing when you're tracking your emotions in the journal, you're identifying that problem and whatever that situation is. You're becoming aware of the negative thoughts and probably the behaviors. You're challenging the unhelpful beliefs or thoughts, and you're replacing them with realistic thoughts. I call it the three C's. You're catching that negative thought. Well, it's an exercise that you do. You're catching the thought, you're checking the thought, and then you're correcting the thought. Again, we're going to use it, the example of being unlovable. That's why nobody don't like your ugly ass anyway. Nobody won't ever love you. You've been used and abused. Catch the thought. They just said nobody is ever going to love me. Check it. My sister loves me. My bestie loves me. My boss at work loves me. My pastors love me. I got two or three sisters in church that love me, and then correct it. I am capable of being loved. I'm capable of receiving love, and I'm capable of giving love. You just shut that person down. And I'm talking about that person, the thing, the thought that's in your mind. And again, you go back to being calm in that situation and remove yourself immediately, because there might be some lows. It's been a lot that I said, but I do have this document. I'm going to scan it on my phone, and I'm going to put it on my page, the College House page. It's talking about the three C's: catch, check, and correct. Just in case you want to use this. And then it has a little worksheet. So this would be like the homework that your therapist would do in the therapy sessions with you. They may give you one of these to take home to do. Again, you catching the thought, the situation, you checking it, and then you're going to correct it. Now, for the little kiddies, it's comic strips. Remember, I was in outpatient services for a while, so I still got all my material, y'all. Listen, I was a bad mamma jamma now. I was a bad mamma jamma. When God give you a gift, honey, papa, he just put it on you. So this is the comic strip. And this is things you can do. If your kid coming home from school and they angry and they throw their book back down and they go, and you know that's not how your baby is. Your baby is sweet as pie. Come over here, baby. Come to me. What happened? I don't want to talk about it. I don't know. Tell mommy the story. What happened? What was you thinking? What was said to you? Is that what they're saying is true? What does mommy say? What does daddy say? They catching the situation. They checking it against whatever the person said in school. They putting that negative thought here. How do you feel about it? Do you feel that way? And then you're helping them to change that thought. This is corrected in childhood. So when you get to adulthood, you don't have any of those problems. Your child is going through their life living and not just surviving in this cold world. See, mental health now is so much on fire that we are running to get some type of therapy, some type of professional help, some type of life coaching, motivational, interviewing and motivational speeches and all these say yes and good things for our mental health and our mental well-being. Because 20 years ago, if you talked about mental health or depression, what? Don't say that. Or if you were thinking about harming yourself, unallowing yourself, what? That's a sin. It's so hot now that we can teach our children now, so they just won't be surviving like we did, and they can live through life. Baby. I am done. My gentleman that's supposed to be coming on here, we are having a conflict issue, but it is okay. It is okay. So I normally do the trap lounge on Wednesday, every Wednesday for him because I want him to come on and talk because this his testimony is so great. Young man, great testimony, doing everything, doing it big, and he gives back to the community. I'm going to schedule for a Tuesday, and I will let you guys know. So I will advertise like I do with a little flyer or posts, but I'll advertise and let you guys know it'll be on a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday, so we can have him come on. I just need to get a good solid day from him. And again, coming on social media, whatever platform you're on, people get nervous. See, I like to talk. I've always been a talker. People have always talked to me and I've always talked to them. So this comes a little bit natural to me. And, it is what it is. So I want to get him prepared and prep him because, people will see his testimony. But God is always good because God turns storms into testimonies. So it'll be on a Tuesday. I'm going to try to weather that through. Um, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and it's also Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month. I've done it every year to do something on sexual assault awareness. I'm going to actually do something, but I want to be talking about 3 or 4 celebrities and their situations and how society now has changed the past of you holding in, not telling your story when you were younger to now telling it and you can, cash in on a cow per se. So I think I'll do that next week, and give my guest another week or so to get ready. I'll send him some information. So guys, stay tuned for that, and that's going to be a blast. Hopefully they don't come from me. They better not come from me. I ain't lying. Everything I say on here, fact check it, guys. Fact check it. Everything I say on here is correct. Okay, I don't just put stuff in this book, write it in here. I do research. Anyway, that is it for tonight, guys. I'm glad you guys joined me on here on the Trap Lounge. My name is Kimble Evans. I'm your trap therapist. Enjoy the rest of your night. Okay. Okay. Well, I can't. There we go.